I don't think I need to make it any more clear. It clearly crossed that line, and brokers have a tendency of doing this. That's why I'm not placing buy limits or sell limits anymore. I'm just gonna have manual executions. As you can see, it went pretty deep inside the fair value gap, the 30-minute fair value gap, and clearly crossed where I had my buy limit, which was exactly at this point, 147,900, and did not put me in the trade. And then what did it do? Took off. First things first, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So you can tell this is a different day from the clip earlier, which was my live trade, but I actually just want to get straight into it. I don't want to take too long recording this video since I am already recording it late, and then basically in a couple of days I got to record the video for this week again. I don't want to yap for too long. Let's get right into the chats. I am going to save how much I made in that trade and how it turned out from the live trade till the last, because it was the last day of the trading week. As you can see, this is the screenshot from Monday. Monday was a bank holiday in the US. It was Martin Luther King Day, if I'm not mistaken. First things first, all I want to say is my thought process for that Monday was, if we look at the actual Forest Factory, it says USD. What did I do? Okay, I'm gonna decide to just trade any pair that doesn't have USD in it, which was GBP, JPY, or GJ. But what I'm going to do, because I live and I learn, the volume on that day was just horrendous, honestly. On any US bank holidays, I'm just not gonna trade. No matter what other pairs I have, I'm not gonna trade. Honestly, I probably could have just closed out the trade that I had. Let me see the screenshot once again. I would have been up a little bit in one point, I guess, but I was just sitting through a bunch of consolidation. I can't really remember what happened that day. Let me just see if I wrote it down, because I did start writing down my trades. Okay, so I started doing it on the 13th. Yeah, but it wasn't a terrible week. I went 3 for 5 this week that I'm talking about right now. So I got 3 correct trades and I missed 2. So the first trade was that one trade on Monday. Like I said, don't trade on US bank holidays. It's just not a day to trade. Doesn't really matter if it's a USD event. As long as it's a USD holiday, I'm not gonna be trading. So you can see the price action for this day was just horrible. I should have just not traded this day. It was my fault, honestly. All right, so I was looking at the New York kill zone, which is this right here, which is from 7 to 10 in the morning, which is where I'm looking for an execution. I honestly was watching this the whole time because I was up around 6. So I was watching this play out right here. I was waiting for it to at least try to like get liquidity or something like that, and it didn't even come close to touching it. I guess it got the liquidity from the top of the London session when it came up here, but as you can see, it just ended up consolidating the rest of the day, and it was just a bad trade, honestly. I should have just not traded at all that day, and ended up killing me towards the end of the day. I remember I was at a restaurant, I was eating, and I just checked my trade. I was like, oh yeah, I'm getting out here. It ended up taking me out, but I was thinking, okay, it went up displacement. I saw this fair value gap, but now I know that a fair value gap is only valid once liquidity is taken. And I guess you could say liquidity was taken from up here. There was no liquidity taken down here, and that's why I consolidated the rest of the day. Plus, it was a bank holiday, so there was no point of just trading, but I don't understand why I'm trying to justify it. It was a bad trade. I got in around here. I believe I had my stop loss here, and as you can see over here, it burned me. With spread, I got in around this area at the 185.624. The second position I had was a little bit deeper into the fair value gap. So honestly, if I would have got out up here, I would have made some money on both, and I would have been okay with it. Plus, it was 11 either way, but I was just watching to see if maybe it would give me a push up, and as you can see, it did not. Ended up taking me out over here at 6 in the afternoon. So can't be mad at it. On to the next day. It was just a bad day. Do not trade on bank holidays. Now to USD JPY. 16 was another day that I ended up having a loss, and I don't believe I have a screenshot, but I remember exactly what happened. No, I don't have a screenshot from the 16th, but I was upset with myself because I knew we were bullish. As you can tell, just looking at the graph, we were bullish. This is a bullish graph right here, especially after the holiday. But there was some news at exactly 8:30, as you can see right here, and all I had to do was really realize if I set my parameters like I usually do for the kill zone, which is all right. So this is the kill zone right here, New York open kill zone. Anybody entered around here, they were all taken out with this one candle. I should have noticed that, and what my dumbass did, excuse my French, but I seen this big dip down. I said, okay, for some reason, I don't know why I did this, and this is what happens. You just have to learn as a trader, and I guarantee you it won't happen again. But I had a bullish bias, and I understood that it was gonna go up for the week, and I knew this for a fact because the week prior was the same thing, and I still did not trust my decision and went back on my trading plan, and I ended up taking a short trying to ride price. I don't know why I did that, but it ended up just being the manipulation. If you could see, came all the way down, liquidity sweep under these lows. Oh, what is this right here? Fair value gap. Filled up a bunch of that fair value gap, plus took out these lows, and then what did it do? It ended up just going straight up for the rest of the day. day, and I could have had a long. This was a very good position to get a long in. And if I use the optimal trade entry, you can see it right here. Optimal trade entry. If I would have got in right here, shut my long there, I would have took the risk of this. I don't know what I would have targeted, honestly, but I did have some higher time frames. Don't mind this up here. This is from this week's trading, which all I'm saying is I'm undefeated this week, but probably would have targeted something around here, something like that, and I would have easily hit it throughout the day, or at least early in the next day. But I'm just mad because I went back on my plan. I knew it was going to be a bullish day, and for some reason, as soon as I saw that news candle go all the way down, I was like, okay, this is where the market is just going to shift. All I thought was this is where the market was going to shift, and it was going to be sell, and I wanted to ride price, so I entered an immature, in my opinion, sell or short, and ended up biting me in the butt, ended up stopping me out. I don't have the exact, and I don't even want to get into it because it was a bad trade. I have bad trades. It happens, and it's gonna happen because it's just part of the game. But let's get into the more interesting trades on the next day, Wednesday. The screenshot already came up. I'm marking this for the sake of the video. These are my two targets for Wednesday's trading day, and this is the trade set up for Wednesday the 17th. So you can see we had a consolidation. First thing I noticed was when I got up, right, I always mark out my kill zone, and I set the fib. See this? What did I miss? Optimal trade entry right here gave me 3 chances to get in at the optimal trade entry. Missed it. I said, okay, don't worry about it, I'll find something else. And I seen this displacement making a fair value gap, and I said, okay. And I was just watching price. I knew we were bullish for a fact. I wasn't paying too much attention to that bearish stuff because I knew we were bullish. And what did I do? I was waiting for it to come back down into the fair value gap. But as soon as I saw this candle at 8:45 come all the way down here and almost close out the fair value gap that we had right here, I was like, no, it's not gonna come down that low, but what I'm gonna do is go on the 30-minute. So I went on the 30-minute, and after I saw this, as you can see, it's a 30-minute fair value gap right here. And what did I do? 30-minute fair value gap. As soon as it touches into that fair value gap, I'm gonna enter. What ended up happening was I was at work and somebody distracted me, and I said, okay, this task is gonna take too long, which I will never do ever again. Trust me, I will not miss a trade because of work. I placed a buy limit right at the top of the fair value gap, and as you can see right here, the fair value gap, as you can see, the low, yeah, pay attention up here to the low, right, to the L. The low for this candle was at 147.900. Placed my buy limit exactly on that line, so it would have been like this. As you can see, I took this trade off of the 30-minute, but I'll go back to the 15 just for the sake of it, and I don't think I need to make it any more clear. It clearly crossed that line, and brokers have a tendency of doing this. That's why I'm not placing buy limits or sell limits anymore. I'm just gonna have manual executions. As you can see, it went pretty deep inside the fair value gap, the 30-minute fair value gap, and clearly crossed where I had my buy limit, which was exactly at this point, 147.900, and did not put me in the trade. And then what did it do? Took off like usual, but should have been this trade right here, and it's a winning trade. I'm gonna count it as a winning trade. Obviously, I didn't win or lose, so I don't really care at the end of the day, but I had my stop loss below this low, I had my take profit at the 520 mark, and as you can see, it ended up coming in and hitting my take profit, smashing it. And it would have been like a $50 trade, $40 to $50 trade, I can't remember exactly, but ended up smashing it. I was just upset because the limit didn't put me in, and that's just the risk you got to take when you're trading. But as you can see right here in the New York kill zone, I missed the optimal trade entry. After this displacement, I went into the 30-minute, and I saw that a fair value gap did form. As you can see right here, fair value gap form. Should have filled me in. It never filled me in. It got me so tight, but perfect trade. Ended up being a win. I didn't win or lose because I didn't take this trade, because the buy limit didn't fulfill my order, but it's part of the game with trading. I'm gonna take manual executions from now on. I can't really be mad at it. I gotta stop saying that, but yeah, let's move on to the next day, Thursday. So this is the price action for Thursday. It was very sloppy, honestly. I can't remember if there was news. I'm pretty sure there was news at 8:30 on Thursday, as you can see with this big displacement to the upside. Can't remember exactly what I was thinking. I do know it was a win on Thursday, and up to this point I was negative on the week. Honestly, I was upset because I was in the negative at this point. I had lost money because it didn't fill me in on that last trade. This is the trade for Thursday. It got very close to stopping me out. I saw this big fair value gap after this imbalance, and then it rebalanced it, so it was no longer valid. But I saw that price did not want to drop lower with this candle, and then it started coming back up. I decided to enter. I don't remember exactly why. I didn't lock this one, but for my trade recap, on Wednesday I had correct bias, missed optimal trade entry early in the New York kill zone, place limit order next time, account for spread, and I guess you could say I didn't account for spread in that, but it went straight through my buy limit. It should have filled me. It didn't fill me, but next time just do a market order, trade hit to take profits. On the 18th I did not log this, but ended up being a winning trade either way. I ended up getting out around up here somewhere. I believe it was like around the 242 range. It went up a little bit higher, and then as you can see, it started coming out lower, and then the next day it would have filled me in, but I wasn't trying to wait for that long. And Friday I was planning on recording this video, which would be the next trade, but it was a 1.43 risk to reward ratio. Wasn't the best trade in the world, but hey, I'll take the W, especially late into the week. Now Friday was a very fun day because this is the price action for overnight on Friday actually. So it's getting close to what trading I have going on for this week. Don't pay attention to most of these drawings. Friday, this is what happened on Friday, right? As you can see, this is price action for the day prior. Everybody knows Fridays is a crazy day, but I don't believe there was news on this Friday. Let's mark out the kill zone. So as you can see in the London session, it was just straight downward movement. So what I was thinking was, I'll just read my recap from that day. It says correct trade bias, so long. Missed the entry on below the 50% on the fib. I'll show you guys that. Learned my lesson on margins. I lost about $6 for no reason because I guess I was over leveraging. It got too low, and with these brokers that are regulated, they don't let you risk that much on these accounts because they're trying to protect you, which I don't understand. I believe if you're doing this, you should have the right to risk as much as you want if you know what you're doing. But I got into one position and it ended up taking me out, and I was like, wait, why is only half of my position in here? I had a 0.1 lot and I had another 0.1 lot, and only one of them was open. I was like, where did my other lot go? Did I set my stop loss at the wrong point or something? I saw that it took me out on MetaTrader. I was just confused. So I waited a little bit longer. I got in again. I was paying attention to the chart this time. I saw it go down and it took me out, and I was like, why does it keep taking me out? And then I checked and I noticed it was because of the margin. And honestly, not gonna make that mistake again, but I did lose $6 for no reason just because I made that mistake. But you live and you learn. I didn't stick my plan to my take profits, which I should have. I got greedy and thought the price was gonna go all the way to the top to my actual take profit, but I have multiple take profits this day, and I'll explain them when I talk about the trade a little bit more. But I let the greed win. I should have just took my profits and been okay with it, but let's get to it. Okay, so my take profits that day, I remember it was this high was one of my first take profits, and my other take profit was this fair value gaps low, the high, and this was my final take profit up here. All right, so this is the below 50% of the fib that I missed, which was from this candle to this candle. And as you can see, it was actually an optimal trade entry that I ended up missing, but I was like, okay, I'm gonna just be patient and just see what happens. And then as you can see, my actual position was, I saw this right here as a sweep of liquidity early in the session. So I was just like, okay, swept the lows of the London session. Let's just see what ends up happening. I knew it was gonna be an up day either way, and it ended up being more of a down day later on, but could have caught this up day, took my profits, and then moved my stop loss to break even after the second TP, which I usually do, and then it probably would have came down and stopped me out at break even, but I would have made money. And if I didn't lose that money on margin, I would have been fine. I still ended up making money this day, but I could have made a lot more. And I did take profit here, but I saw it go down from this up here, thinking it was gonna go and hit the bottom of this fair value gap before I took profit. Ended up coming back down, so I was like, okay, I'm just take profit. Took my first profit around this area. Should have just took it as soon as it went up above this, honestly. And then I saw it go all the way down. I was like, shit, let me see. And then when I started coming back up, I was like, this is gonna keep, it came up here, and I was like, it's gonna go to this one, so I might as well just wait till it goes up here. Then I ended up creating this, and then just started trickling down. And as you can see, I should have just took profit, but I saw this fair value gap form after I saw that I missed that optimal trade entry, and I entered off of that, and it put me in literally at the top of the fair value gap, accounting for spread. It put me in right here. I had my stop loss at the bottom of this, and look how close it got to stopping me out. It did not stop me out at all because I believe I moved it down a little bit more just to secure myself, just to make sure that it doesn't just come and stop hunt and just reverse, which I was correct. They ended up doing that, and like I said, my take profit was the bottom of this. Honestly, I didn't even have it here, but it was the bottom of this. It was a 5.86 risk to reward ratio, and like I said, I didn't take profits correctly, and it came up. I moved my stop loss, I believe, and no, I didn't move my stop loss. I took one take profit here, the other one I took it on the way down, like around this area, and I ended up making like $3 since I lost that $6. It would have been like a $16 trade or something like that, and 20 something if I would have got out up here. But like I said, I let greed get ahead of me, and I fixed that this week. Trust me, I have not let anything get in my way, and I will not let anything get in my way from that Friday. But that's basically it. I ended the week with about like $7 profit or something like that. And something that I actually have to talk about, which is, I remember now what I was thinking about earlier, is that I've been second guessing myself a lot during this series, and that's what's caused me to stay in the same range of being inconsistent, and I win trades, lose trades, win trades, lose trades. And that's because I end up questioning myself, and I really have to stop. And I've stopped. I've trusted myself a lot more this week, honestly, and you could tell just I'm basically undefeated this week. I didn't trade today. This was the trade that I actually was gonna take today, and it would have hit 2 of my take profits, but it was later in the day, and I was talking to my cousin, and he was like, you shouldn't take that trade. I was thinking about it being a swing trade, honestly. So I know tomorrow's gonna be an up day, just because I'll talk about it in the next video, but just so much that I've learned this past week is amazing, honestly, and I'm very confident that after this week, maybe the next one, I'll definitely have that first withdrawal in this account. And like I said, I'm gonna take the money out, I'm gonna frame it just because it's significant to this account on YouTube and the series. But yeah, I've been holding on to trades longer than I should. I've been really deviating from my trading plan and just uncontrollable. Like I said, that trade last week, trading on a day that was a bank holiday mistake, not trusting my bias. I'm trying to chase price. It's just not like me, and I wasn't doing that in the demo account. And like I said, it's a lot different when you're trading with your life funds. I'm gonna definitely try to stay more focused this week, and I can't wait till this weekend. I'm gonna do another live trade this past Friday for the next video, and I'm gonna do a call with my boys and see what we end up doing and see if we can make some money together, honestly. But I found myself letting the greed get to me as well, and not taking my profits. And just know that nothing is guaranteed in this market. So if you have a target and you set a target to take profits there. Leave the runners if they end up going and smashing your take profit. If it's a trade that is like, for example, a 1-on-1 and it smashes your take profit, hey, fine, be okay with that. But just know it could easily get close to your take profit and then reverse. And like I said, nothing is guaranteed. Coming into this week a lot smarter, and honestly, I don't want to draw this video any longer. It's already 11:12 at night. So thank you for watching this video. I'll have the screenshot if I can of what I ended this week with. I don't think I will, because it's already a new week. I have this trading week and I'm up. Honestly, it's been a very good week. Like I said, I'm basically undefeated. It's still Wednesday, and I didn't take a trade today. This was actually the trade that I was gonna take today, but like I said, I didn't take it, and it would have hit 2 of my take profits. But let's see what price ends up doing tomorrow. I'm definitely trading tomorrow. I know it's gonna be an up day. It's definitely a news day too, so I have to be careful with my stop loss being too tight. Let's do this, man. Let's do this. I'm very ready for this trading week, and that's all I can say. Thank you for watching this video, and thank you for the support. Thank you so much for the amount of growth that we've had in this channel. Like I said, I'm gonna make this happen. I don't care if anybody calls me cocky. I have my reasons to make this happen, and there's nobody that can stop me but myself. All I want to say is stick to your trading plan, don't be greedy, and enjoy the struggle, enjoy the process, because after these little tweaks are fixed, it's basically profitability, and that's when trading really becomes fun. Either way, win or lose, still robotic, no emotion at all. I have been working on, I have my certain views on money and stuff like that, just because I understand how it all works. But it does get to you sometimes when you are losing a trade, and I don't really care if I win or lose the trade, or if I win or lose money. The thing I care about is deviating from my plan. Like, if I'm telling myself I'm gonna do this, why did I do something else? That's what really gets me, and that's when I get really upset. But either way, I'm rambling. Thank you for watching this video. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.